Okay, guys, so we are starting the new coach kickoff call, and this call is going to start, it's going to be happening this time of the month, every single month going forward, just because basically the way our challenge groups run and then the way that we recruit, it's basically just a simplified system to get coaches kind of started right. And you guys got the first 30 emails. I assume both of you guys got the first 30 from corporate, and it's kind of like a corporate way of saying things, but it walks you through everything initially. And then from there, you also get the new coach email from me or your personally sponsored coach. And that kind of walks you through a getting started right call with a coach that I love, who just gives another perspective, right? Because you can hear from me, but it's nice to hear from somebody else as well. But Ashley Malstead is an amazing coach. I love her, and that's why I use her video as well. But then it introduces you to our new coach training. So yes, the new coach training is on my schedule to start to update now that life has kind of slowed down. There have been some changes. So thank you, ladies, for kind of navigating the office and kind of getting yourselves going as I update the training going forward. So tonight we're going to talk about kind of the hardy part of coaching and what this is and what this sort of takes, and some ideas to get your business going, some ideas to start to snowball things forward for you. It's easy to kind of take in all the information, get a little overwhelmed, and not really know what to do going forward. Sorry, I just got distracted because Chris put the shower down here. I don't know what he's doing. So anyways, guys, I want to start off. The hardest part of this business is coming out with your business. And I know Ashley and Carrie both just did this on Facebook. And Michelle, I'm pretty sure that you've done this on Instagram as well. But coming out in your business is the hardest part. It's like this frog in your throat. You want to do it, but you're so afraid of what other people are going to think. I remember the night that I did it. I posted my before and after photo. I shut the computer off and I went to bed because I didn't want to see what anybody had to say, whether anybody liked it or not. It was scary, but that is the hardest part of this business. And once you do that, once you kind of put yourself out there a little bit, it's like you open yourself up to just being you and sharing this with everybody and sharing your journey with people daily. So always remember that you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, okay? Not everybody is going to love seeing your posts. Not everybody is going to be your ideal customer. And that's okay. For me personally, guys, I like to share my experience because I've been through the hard shit in this business. Chris can validate that for me. But what I had was I had a why. I had a reason that I wanted to make this business work. Now, I wanted to be a full-time coach. You might not want to be a full-time coach. You might want to just be part-time. But I think what stays consistent with that and what remains the same is that you have a why. Whether it's full-time, part-time, hobby, discount coaching, you still have a why. So hang on to that. Know the reason you want to do this business and your goals in this business, because that's going to get you through the hard stuff. And I have people in my life and I have family in my life that don't agree with what I'm doing. But 3 years into this business, I can tell you that they've surely kind of come around. Actually, they watch my Instagram stories now and I can see that they're watching it. I don't follow their pages back, but I can see that they're watching mine. At first, when I saw that, I was a little bit uncomfortable with it. But now I'm just like, meh, it's their choice if they want to watch, right? So just know that you're trying to find your people and you want to help your people. And when you find your people, it makes this business so much more fun. And it makes our groups, so much more fun to run. So kind of keep that in mind. And that's where personal development comes in super handy. Whether it's podcasts, a book, an Audible. Audible is a great tool if you don't have Audible. It's through Amazon. You get your first book to download for free, but you just put it on your phone and you just listen. So literally when I'm getting ready for the day, when I'm doing dishes, meal prep, all that stuff, driving in the car especially, I have personal development on because that is the thing that has kind of reminded me that I am my own person. This is my life and I want to live my life the way that I want to live it. And this business has I can't say the business, these steps in running this business is what has allowed me to elevate to the person that I wanted to be and the person that I am today. So please carve out that 10 or 15 minutes a day to listen to personal development because that alone is life-changing in itself. So as we go forward, what I want you guys to what I want to encourage you guys to do is to set a challenge group date every single month. And now we do this collaboratively as a team, so we do know going forward when our next challenge group date is, and I will look it up right now. April 16th is the start of workouts, okay? April 9th is prep week. Now, you can still enroll people up until the 16th. Even the first week of the 16th, you can still enroll people. I have somebody that just enrolled yesterday, and I'm going to pop her into the group. So what is important is that you are consistently setting that date and keeping that in mind and knowing when the next one is, because you want to be breadcrumbing on your social media about coaching, okay? So this is the process that I sort of use every single month, okay? Number one, you always be a challenger yourself and be a product of the product. Do you have to be perfect? No, absolutely not, because that's not relatable. But you have to always be on your journey and doing a program. I always share that. Every single day I show up on my social media. Consistency is key in this business. But I show up on my social media and I share about my workout, whether it's anything. It might even just be a motivational quote, something to kind of add value to somebody else's day. But I share about that. I nugget it in, okay? Number two that I do every single day, actually Monday to Friday, not every single day, is I connect with people, okay? My favorite thing to do is to just compliment. I love to just send somebody a private message and say, oh my gosh, I love your hair. Oh my gosh, I love, like I was just sending a bunch of Instagram messages to people that had food posts. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love all your food posts. I'm always looking for new ideas, right? It just sends that little message. They get it and they're like, oh, that was nice, right? But that's that connecting piece. So always remember, attract, connect, and invite. So I work on just connecting with people, okay? And then the inviting piece. The inviting piece can happen in a few different ways. Inviting can be posting on your social media and openly announcing your next challenge group and that you're looking for 5 people to join it, okay? The thing to remember with this piece, though, is it takes time and consistency before people are going to start to come to you, okay? So think of your challenge groups basically like a party. This Friday night, you're hosting a party. Hi, buddy.
Hi.
This Friday night, you're hosting a party and you post an invite on social media and you're like, hey guys, I'm having a party. Come on over, right? Is that for me? Like, are you inviting me? Right? Like, if I read that, am I like, was that for me? Or was that for like just her 4 best friends? Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you post an call to action post is what we call it, inviting to your next challenge group, and you don't personally send messages. So like anybody that likes on it or in your Instagram stories, anybody that watches that Instagram story where you invite to your challenge group, send them a message and just be like, oh my gosh, I saw that you invited you watched my invite to my next challenge group. You should join us, and just throw like a little one-liner at the end of it. Like, I really want to lose 10 pounds in this challenge, or, I'm really looking to drop a pant size before my vacation, right? Or I'm really looking for 3 girls who want to join me in doing this because I need the accountability myself, right? It just throws out that extra invite. What I want to prepare you for, though, are the no's or the no responses, okay? So generally, 1 in 10 will say yes, okay? But here's what I can guarantee you from every minute of my business is that people will come back. When you plant those seeds with people, you will harvest later on, okay? So you're putting the seed out there, you're planting the seed with them. They're probably gonna be like, it's not a good time. But everybody has that time when they go to put on those pants before winter, or they go to put on those summer shorts and they're like, I really need to lose 5 or 10 pounds. Who are they going to think of? The one that complimented them and connected with them, the one that sent them a message inviting them. They're going to come back to you. I promise you that. All of my business that's coming in right now are people that I talked to like probably 6 months ago. So just remember that when you're kind of going forward with that process, okay? That was call to action posts. That was inviting. The third way that I've built my business is free groups. So free groups are an amazing tool, and there's something incredible that Beachbody offers, and that is the 2-week free Beachbody On Demand membership. Okay, so we have 80-day obsession going on, and all of us are obsessed with it, right? So you could run a challenge group, a 5-day sneak peek into A Little Obsessed, right? A Little Obsessed is on Beachbody On Demand, so you could give them a sneak peek into what 80-day obsession is all about with doing A Little Obsessed. That was just an idea that I totally
Hey,
had.
Ashley, I like that idea.
I know, I do too.
Highlighted it.
Did ya?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just thought of that tonight when I was like doing some planning. I was like, I'm going to run a free group, and it's going to be based around A Little Obsessed. So I'm pretty sure, I haven't checked the back office. I meant to check this before we hopped on our call tonight. There will probably be some challenge group posts for A Little Obsessed because it's its own program on Beachbody On Demand. And in the back office, under program materials, there are every single Beachbody program challenge group posts. So when I'm contriving my posts, I'm generally looking at those and pulling bits and pieces from them to come up with different content. So just know that going forward, and you're helping us plan challenge group posts, you can pull from that sort of stuff, okay? So other free groups in our Google Drive, which I will show you guys where that is. I have a Google Drive. I need to update it, I know. But there are free group templates in there for like crock pot challenges, abs and ass challenges. I mean, keep anything you want. My suggestion is keep it to 5 days. I find personally anything longer than 5 days, I lose people. People don't want to go into the weekends because they don't want to make that full-on commitment. So I find a Monday to Friday, perfect for a free group. And you want to advertise, you want to give yourself enough time to advertise. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now, okay? So before we get into figuring out how to advertise, I know this is information overload, but I really wanted to give you guys all this information tonight so that you can come up with your plan going forward. Okay, so let's do this one. Okay, so this is what I do when I'm planning for challenge group, okay? So you can do this with a free group. You can do this with a paid challenge group. You can do this with coaching webinars or our Glimpse into Coaching group, okay? But usually I write down, so I have my piece of paper here for my April challenge group, okay? And I number 1 to 8. And when I number 1 to 8, what I'm doing, can you guys hear that? What are you scrubbing? Scrub in the shower. So I number 1 to 8, and what I do is I write down 8 things that I want to target in my posts to my following when I'm trying to figure out what to post on social media. So for example, I was trying to come up with names for our April challenge group, so I have Battle of the Bulge here, not saying that that's what it's going to be, but I was trying to think of things. But I wrote down number 1, the sisterhood. I love the sisterhood in the community of our groups. There's something I can post about. Number 2, I have convenience. They're at-home workouts. I mean, I'm short on time. There's something I can post about on a different day. Number 3, I have the success of others. So seeing other people in the groups, I can totally screenshot this for you guys too if you want. So you don't have to write it all out. But the success of others, there's another post. But seeing the success of others motivates me in my own journey. Number 4, where I was to where I am. That's another post. That's a whole other story. Number 5, the simplicity of the programs. Eating this at this time, that's another post. 6, the prizes. I love prizes. Number 7, the accountability for the groups, the Zoom calls. That's another post. Number 8, the soul food. So I love the mindset shift. I love, that shift that's happened in my life. So what I do is figure out when the challenge group date is. So April 16th, okay? April 9th, you can go from 2. Count back at least 10 to 12 days, okay? And that's when you want to start nuggeting this stuff in. That's when you want to start targeting that you are gearing up to announce that you are doing your challenge group, okay? And dribbling in this stuff. And so when you write about the sisterhood in the community and you do that post, at the bottom of it, just say, listen, if you're looking for extra accountability and you want to be part of our sisterhood, send me a message. There's your
Daisy, I guess my struggle right now is like we're just so new and I don't want to come off salesy, right? So I feel like, because I was thinking about that today, I was like putting that now, like I'm not even mentioning like join me, I'm like staying away from the whole even trying to like say, do you want this kind of thing? Because it's like I just want to say what I've been doing, which like, and the other post said, don't be egotistical about it, right? Like you shouldn't always talk about yourself, but I don't want to come off salesy. Like I'm really trying to say my transformation so that it inspires them, but I don't want to come off salesy. So like, when do you suggest starting that? Like, do you want to join me thing? Like not being too early, but not leaving it too long too.
Yeah. So me personally, I came right out of the gate. Like my very first post coming out announcing I was a coach was with my transformation, doing an invite to a challenge group. So, but I mean, that was 3 years ago and everybody's different with this business. So if you would rather kind of add value and get yourself out there a little bit more, feel free in the next week to begin to advertise a free group. Okay. The free group's going to show people what a challenge group is all about. It's going to show them the community. It's going to show them the support with no commitment either, right? And so you can run that, and then that could kind of be your starting date after that, right? You've ran your free group. You've kind of shown people what this is all about, and then you could decide going forward from there that this is what you do. And I say only one post a day. So I always say post 2 times a day on social media. If you just go up kind of in the morning and at night, that's kind of key times. So only make 1 post, maybe 1 every other day, kind of dribble them in, right? I only have 8 points that I want to touch on, but I want to spread them out over 10 to 12 days, right? Yep. So it's not like every post you're like, hey, do this. I mean, I'll throw it out there. There are some really spammy companies out there, right? So we don't want to be that. And I pride ourselves on not being that, on just choosing to add value every single day. Does that kind of answer that for you, Ashley?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So I should mention the other thing that I've done consistently is growing my network. So if you don't add people into your network, your business won't grow. It's plain and simple. So if you're on Instagram, then you have to be growing your Instagram through hashtags and seeking your network out, figuring out your people. Okay. And if you're on Facebook, then you're friend requesting people. Try not to overthink it. I mean, from day one, I've never overthought it. I mean, initially I was like, ooh, that's a little bit weird, but I mean, don't overthink it. Your people are going to say yes to you. They're going to look at your profile and be like, yeah, I love this girl. And they're going to accept your friend request, or they're not. In my entire business, I've only ever had twice somebody message me and say, do I know you? And I respond back saying, oh, we had some mutual friends. I thought maybe I'd met you one time or something like that. Right? Like, but I, in that second, literally thought to myself, my person would never send that message. Like me, myself, I would never send a message to somebody saying, do I know you? So I know that that's not my person. So bye, Felicia. Like, see you later. Right? So does that make sense to you guys? Okay, so as you're starting to figure out your hashtags and things like that, I know, Carrie, you had posted in your team page about your 5 things. So on Instagram, like you're looking for stuff like that. You're tagging about pugs. You're maybe going to the pugs hashtag and liking people's posts, commenting on them, and then following them, okay? And that's how you do it through Instagram. Instagram growing, you'll find when you start to find your people, you'll start to grow your Instagram following. It takes a bit of work, okay? So try not to get discouraged with Instagram too much. It'll just take a little bit of work in growing your numbers on Instagram, okay? Do you guys have any questions? No? Okay. So, oh, was somebody going to talk there?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Free group. Ashley and I have been talking about starting it Easter Monday. Is it a good idea on holiday Monday?
So if you do it a little obsessed wise, I mean, there's no reason why they can't get a workout in on a Monday.
That's what my thoughts were. Not everybody's off.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally, you know what? Yeah, I totally.
Because that leads kind of perfectly for that challenge group.
Yes, sorry. Yes, that would work perfect. That's not
If we left it any longer, it would make it really tight for the challenge group, and then you don't want to wait another month to start.
That is the perfect date. So this is what I would do. Do you guys want me to give you what I would do?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna get my pen.
Pulling out my calendar here.
The cold arena drained my phone.
Oh no. Okay, so that's going to start April 2nd. That's the Monday. So I would start the group posts on the Thursday before that, which would be the 29th. Okay.
You wouldn't start like this week, like at the beginning of next week?
Sorry, no, I mean like you're going to open the group and have the
okay.
in there for the 29th.
Yeah.
And still add people over that weekend. I just mean you're going to start to post in the group on the 29th.
I get it now.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that. And so today is the 21st. So yeah, basically what I would start to do is every other day from now until like the 31st, right up until the Sunday night before, because they can register right up to the Sunday night before, nuggeting in about your free group. So do a hard come out. That's what I'm going to call it, like a hard post. A hard post is basically where you announce that you're running this free group. And this is what it is. This is what they're going to get. Comment below if you want in. Tag your friends. The more the merrier. Right? That's a hard one. And then going forward, you're going to nugget in about your free group coming up. So like you'd post about your workout, you could do like a little video and then say at the end of it, you can be like, if you want a little sneak peek into this, come check out my A Little Obsessed group, right? So like nuggeting in a little bit about that. Be sure on Sunday night, the 25th, between 8 and 9 p.m., that you do a hard post about it again. That's the busiest time on social media. So be sure you hit that one up.
Now the free 7 days, do they have to put their credit cards in for that?
So here's the thing. Yes, they do.
Okay.
They do. So I am straight up honest with them and I tell them that they have to and that they can cancel right away. I mean, on the flip side, you could add them in still and they can still get an idea of what the group is all about if they're opposed to that.
Okay.
So if you guys start to run into that issue, just shoot me a message and I'll help you out in responding to them.
Okay.
Look at you, Madison, on the call. You look like
I'm actually sitting in the lobby at the sleep clinic right now, about to go up. I was in the Uber before, which is why my camera was off. Yeah.
Like it looks like you're at hospital or something.
Yeah, pretty much. I just kind of wanted to share my 2 cents, if that's okay, as a new coach that just started.
I'm going to mute myself. You take over.
I was actually I just wanted to pop on to see if any of my new coaches were in here, but I think with the time change, there was a bit of a mix up. But I started coaching 3 months ago and I've been having a lot of luck and success with this business. And what worked for me was literally just sharing what I do on a daily basis. So I came out with my very first transformation post, and I think that got a lot of people interested. And right away, I got a lot of people from like my close mutual family and friends saying, hey, what did you do? How did you lose the weight? And that's kind of how I went about it. And along with what Michelle was saying about how you don't want to invite and like make it seem salesy, I totally agree. I follow kind of like a 4x1 rule where I'll post like 1 post about my health and fitness journey and joining, and then 4 posts that are just related to things that I enjoy in life. So if it's a picture of my cat or a picture of like me and my friend going out, so that my Instagram profile isn't like, hey, join me, hey, look at all this weight I've lost. And that's worked really well for me because people see that it's balanced. And then in my story, in my Instagram story, that's where I'm kind of nuggeting in on a daily basis about the exercise routine. So I'm telling them like, hey, I just got home from school. I'm kind of tired, but I'm going to get my workout in. And the accountability of this groups has really helped me to make sure that I do this. And that's kind of how I get around like the salesy aspect, because it's more just me sharing like on a day-to-day basis, like what I'm going through and what I'm doing.
Perfectly said, Madison. Like perfectly said. And that's literally what it's all about. So try not to overthink it too much. But that first transformation photo that you come out with is definitely key, because it shows people that this works. And what I want to say about that is when you post the transformation photo, don't give up going forward afterwards, okay? Because they're going to want to see your next transformation photo. You're going to have people following you that aren't going to be liking or commenting, that are going to be watching, that want to know that you're in this and that you're not going to give up, right? So if you post it and then you post kind of a little bit after and you're like, meh, this isn't working, then those people that were kind of curious but didn't really want to jump in yet, they're going to be like, oh, she wasn't fully in it. And they'll just move on and find another coach. Right? So I've seen some coaches come into this and they start and then they just stop because the first time didn't really, take off like crazy. But that consistency piece is huge in getting that, kind of climbing the mountain with your business. There was something else I was going to say and I just totally lost my train of thought. Any other questions?
I was just going to say, like, when I started out my first month, like the first 2 weeks, I posted my transformation photo and I maybe got like 30 likes on it. And I had like 200 followers on Instagram. And I was kind of like, oh, maybe like I made the wrong decision signing up for coaching, because I'm not going to have anyone interested and I'm not anywhere close to the end of my journey. So like no one's going to be interested in what I'm doing because I'm still like really trying to lose weight. But I literally just posted like every single day. And had people message me this month, so this is 3 months later, that have been following me since day one, have never messaged me, have never liked a single one of my posts, and are now like, hey, I noticed that you've been doing this for 3 months and you're like sticking to it and you're busy, so how are you doing it? So don't let like the initial silence discourage you, because people, and even if you get no's, if you invite them and they say no, like I've had so many people do that and now they're coming back because they went to the gym or they tried their keto pills or whatever and it didn't work. And then they're coming back like, okay, maybe this girl's onto something. So don't get discouraged like right off the bat if it's not working.
Yeah. That's why they always say be here in a year, because that's when you'll see like major growth in your business. It's just making that commitment.
Madison, are you only on Instagram or are you on Facebook too?
I tried Facebook for a while and I just found that it didn't really work for me, because it's just like all my classmates at school who also have Instagram, and it's a lot of my family on Facebook. And I just find that Instagram, it's easier because you can post your story in 10-second like clips. And it's really easy to just show people like what your day's like, oh, I just woke up, it's 5 a.m., I'm heading out the door, I'm a mess, grabbing food on the go, or like, hey, I just got home from a 12-hour shift. So people get to see more than just the workouts. They see you on a daily basis, and people want to see that. Like they wake up and they're like, oh, what's she doing today? So I find that Instagram works a lot better for me, but it's all about picking a social media platform that works for you.
Oh, no, I agree. I find it less personal too, which just takes away like the criticism from family and stuff when you do it on Instagram, which I like.
Yep. And like pick your platform and stick to that one. Don't feel like you have to master all of them. Okay. Like Instagram, if that's the one you're going to go with, master that one.
I started with just Instagram and I was amazed. Like there's a bunch of moms in the area that I'm not friends with on Facebook, but you see them at school at pickup and you're like, oh, hi. And they don't have me on Facebook, but then somebody shared my Instagram and they're all following me on Instagram. But then Facebook, it was interesting because I put it on yesterday and then I go to work today and I had someone say to me, what's that new thing you're doing? And I'm like, pardon? And she's like, what's that new thing you're doing? And I was like, what are you talking? I took me totally off guard because she's not on my Facebook, but my person that I teach with commented. And so it showed up on hers. And she's like, I did 21 Day Fix and I stopped, and I'm going to keep you in mind because when I'm ready, when my knees are bugging me right now, but when they're ready, So it was like totally different, like outcomes, I guess, from each post. Like Instagram kind of opened it up to the people that were like, that I don't know. I had a lot of messages from other coaches or people liking it and following. And then those people like in the community that didn't want to add me on Facebook necessarily because we're not that close, but it's like Instagram's a little less personal.
Yeah.
So they're okay with it. But Facebook's reaching those people that I didn't expect to be supportive, and they are.
It's amazing how it works and the power of social media. So I think I shared, I'm not sure if you guys were on the call maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe not, you guys wouldn't have been on. So I had I was chatting a lot about how like the population of Toronto is like 1.2 million people, and that's only one city in Canada, right? And we still have the US and the UK, and there's only 400,000 coaches in Beachbody. I also want to preface that with the fact that there's only like 45,000 coaches in Autumn's group. So the fact that there's 400,000 coaches and only 45 in that group, there's a lot of discount coaches and stuff, okay? So when you think like, there's like anybody that's like, oh, I can't coach, I live in Listowel too. I'm like, do you realize how big social media is? Like, do you know it's like a playground out there for connecting to people and finding people? And so, yeah, definitely dig into the platform you want to do and just go all in on that one. So we have about 7 minutes left, guys. If you guys have any questions or anything. No. Madison's going to her sleep clinic.
I don't think I'd ever be able to actually sleep in a sleep clinic.
No, like, like, what do you do over there?
Yeah.
Show me the machines. Good stuff, ladies. Okay, so I will post the recording of this call. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I am always open for one-on-one calls. Like, if you get going into this and you're like, I'm hella confused, can you please, like, meet with me for half an hour and, like, go over all this? I'm totally down. Or if you're like, hey, check out my social media. What do you think? What am I doing? How am I doing here? I can do that too. So just shoot me a message. I am here to help you guys. Okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you for rushing home to jump on this call, ladies.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll see you later.
Yeah.